Okay, guys, how you doing? Just another quick video here. Um, so I said that I was only going to be doing a couple of videos on this topic of socio-political movements and the like. This is the second video that I'm doing. You guys can go back and check out my video on the three necessities of social movements or revolutions, and it's similar to this one, but not quite. So, I was talking a little bit about how things have changed over the years, and the things you could say, and the things that you could hold to when I was younger, back in the 70s, compared to what you can say now, what's considered politically correct or acceptable, and what's not, it's changed. And you start to wonder, like, what happened over time, when you could say certain things, like in TV sitcoms, different stereotypes or language that's used, words that are used. They're okay at one time, but not another. Like, what changes? What is it that brings about that kind of a change? And we talked about a little bit about how we manipulate the change when we looked at social change movements, revolution. But today I'm going to just mention to you this concept called the Overton Window. And just a quick background. Joseph P. Overton is what this was named after. He coined the term. He was the vice president of the Mechanic Center for Public Policy. And I just wrote a couple notes here. It's what it is. It's the range of ideas that the public will accept in public discourses, and that's really what it comes down to. What will be tolerated and what will be considered politically correct and what will not. There's things that we said at one time that would be considered social suicide, and then there's things that we say now that are considered social suicide. And those old ones are accepted now. In the 70s, as an example, you could say that somebody that, when a man would put on a dress and high heels and makeup and walk around, we would say, that's not right. There's something wrong with that. Where now, if you say that, you're demonized, and that person is the one that's normal and in the right. So this Overton window, picture a box on your page, and you break the box into four. So it looks like you're looking through a 4-pane window. And so you would have on the left side of it, it would be liberal. The right side would be conservative. The top would be totalitarian, and then the bottom would be anarchistic. Anarchist. And so you would have like a slide in the middle, where it would be like a square, and that moves. And so what happens is, through different groups and different movements, that would slide in a sense. And it's like, that whole doomsday clock. It's not an actual window or anything like that, but the Overton window, it's influenced. Some of the groups I wrote down are such as the rural farmers, factory workers, um, Christians, disabled people, elderly, uh, yeah, banks, major banking institutions. Pretty much, I mean, there's so many different things that you could put in this. Factory workers, um, mainstream media is a big one. But they guide, and whoever is the loudest will have the greatest impact in society. Like I did it in the last video. You know, only, well, 9% now of the adult population of the United States identifies as trans. I mean, it's kind of fluid in that, you know, today they might, but tomorrow maybe not so much, or it's short term or whatever. But, you know, at any given time, about 9% right now, where 5 years ago it was only 0.4%. But still, 9% isn't really a large number, where you wouldn't know that by listening to people talking. Um, just like the same thing, like with this whole abortion movement, the pro-choice people make it like, you know, women are dying all over the place in childbirth if they don't have these abortions. But really, it's another one of those low numbers. Like, it's 1 point something percent of women that die in childbirth. It's about that for women that are raped and become pregnant as a result of rape. It's very low, but you would think that the numbers are way higher based on the amount of uh, discourse that's floating around all over the place. We're bombarded with all these things. But the groups that tend to be the loudest and are really pushing are the ones that kind of move the middle part of that window. As an example, if the liberal, or I don't even, you know, I don't use that term anymore, I say left, if the left, and then there's the far left, um, say in the media, mainstream media sources, are pushing towards things that are left type agendas, um, you know, like they would push these race things or trans or homosexual, same sex, what have you. They're going to portray it to where it seems like it's so rampant that you almost can't not fathom not getting on board and supporting it, because and the ones that really see the statistics are the ones that are being canceled. Their pages are being shut down. They're being demonized. Biblical churches and true biblical churches that still take a stand against the things that are considered um, immoral per scripture. These are the people that are being silenced. The doors are being shut. They're being attacked. They're being pushed out of society. Where if you fall in and say the things that they want you to say and go along with the mainstream, even though it's such a low number, that you're going to be okay. But, you know, like I said, if you go back, I mean, I'm 51 years old. In the 70s, there were shows like, I mean, look at even like, I wouldn't recommend watching them, but we had like the Jeffersons and Archie Bunker. You couldn't possibly say any of the stuff that they said back then. Um, Flip Wilson, back in, I think he might have been 60s and 70s. You couldn't make the same jokes and references now. You would be considered a Nazi. They like to call you a Nazi and all kinds of other things. It's just ridiculous. But the window, it moves. So what might be okay today might have been terrible back, you know, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago. And what was okay then would be considered terrible now. And that window just moves. And it's called the Overton Window. And it's constantly moving. And, you know, but I just, once again, you know, as a a Christian, a biblical Christian, and a minister, I encourage you to, if you are a Christian and you are concerned about the trends, I just say read the Bible, keep reading the Bible, and keep sticking to it, because when we compromise, that's how this gets so crazy, because Christians aren't out there saying, wait a minute, now this is wrong. We need more Christians to get involved in political offices and make some change, but it's not. People talk about like revolting and stuff, and that's not what we want to do. But be aware of the trends and look into statistics. Barna Institute and Pew Research are a couple of the ones that I will check out a lot. So yeah, so that's the Overton Window, it's called, and it moves. And think back to a time when you were younger and what kinds of things were acceptable in the media then, in comics, in movies, in books, cartoons, TV shows, whatever, what have you, music, and then look at what is considered okay now. All right, so I told you it would be kind of a short one, and that's that. So God bless you guys. Thanks for watching, and let me know what you think. Leave a comment. Please subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to grow this thing, and we'll be back with more topics. If you like these kinds of things, let me know what else you would like me to talk about. I've got a lot of theology. I do my bass guitar playthroughs on different songs. Check it all out. Love you guys. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate any support that you guys give. God bless. Have a great weekend.